Liverpool or around Liverpool, all Liverpool fans all over the world. So it's not a normal or usual club. It's a special club, and if I had two very, very special clubs with Mainz 05 and Borussia Dortmund, and yeah, in this row, it's a perfect next step for me to be now here and yes, try to help.
So it's been 3 years since Jurgen Klopp joined Liverpool Football Club, and what a mad 3 years it's been, to be perfectly honest. Rewind the clock just over 3 years, and I was at Goodison Park to see Liverpool draw the Merseyside derby, the last game in charge of Liverpool for Brendan Rodgers. And the feeling at the time was very much just one of middle of the road, almost humorless dejection. Like
Liverpool once again, they're a comedy defending, puts us in trouble. Again, what's the point? What's the point if you're going to do stupid things in the box and give it away? And it's Liverpool all over the season. Again, absolutely thrown away, gilt-edged opportunity to come away with 3 points.
This is going to carry on, and there's no seeming end in sight. There's no way he's going to lose his job because we're not that bad. But we're also not going to have a good season because we're not that good. And then the owners pulled the trigger.
So we've got the statement here just for clarification. Liverpool Football Club announced that Brendan Rodgers will leave his post with immediate effect after having his contract terminated. The process to appoint a new manager is underway. Although it's been a difficult decision, we believe that this provides us with the best opportunity for success on the pitch. Ambition and winning are at the heart of what we want to bring to Liverpool, and we believe this change gives us the best opportunity to deliver it. What do Liverpool do next? Because it's all well and good if you go out and get a Klopp or you go out and get an Ancelotti, spot on. If you don't, and you go and get another up-and-coming manager and you give him the same sort of backham and you give him the same sort of mission statement, then Liverpool are going to be in big trouble. Liverpool need top-quality people. I don't think we can afford to have players learning on the job and a manager learning on the job at the same time.
And then almost immediately the rumours came out, and they were Carlo Ancelotti or Jurgen Klopp. And for me, straight off the bat, there was only one choice. There was only one man that I'd admired from a distance as a manager. Sure, Ancelotti's got the European Cups under his belt. We've seen them firsthand. But there's something about the big, mad, grinning German that really appealed to me. And maybe it was just the fact that he likes swear words almost as much as me. Or maybe it was the brand of football and the way he conducted himself. But before we knew it, Jurgen Klopp was announced as Liverpool manager.
So the final thing for me to do before starting is to introduce the top table. We have the Liverpool chief executive in and the new manager of Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp. So
before I carry on, there's clearly something I'm lacking. Hold on a sec. So Jurgen came in, and instead of going on about himself and self-aggrandising, instead he got to the core of what has been one of Liverpool's major problems since 1990. Is the weight of expectation that we carry around with ourselves, not just as a football club, as a football team, but as football fans.
But history is only the base for us. It's only because all the people are interested in, but it's not allowed that you take the history and the big history in your backpack and carry it all the day to 20-kilo history, and you are not in your race, and we have to come in our race, and that's very important. So, not to wait. I want to see the first step next week. You can want to see it in the first step next week, but not always compare with other times. Not always. Only stay now. This is a great club with a really good team, big potential, fast players, strong players, good defenders, flexible, creative. Everything is there. Some players are injured. That's normal. Let's try to start a new way.
This history, our much vaunted history, we surround ourselves with it, but at times it becomes a little bit of a bend. It becomes a bit of a length of rope with which to hang ourselves. And for him to come in and identify that, set a marker down and said, no, we draw a line under the history. It's great. We can look at it anytime we want. The trophies are there in the museum, but now we need to focus on making Liverpool the best that they can be. And so we headed into Tottenham Hotspur, to White Hart Lane, to witness this new glorious brand of football. And it was fine. It was fine. when you look at the team that Liverpool put out back then, yeah. And you want to look at the stark contrast of evolution over 3 years of Klopp in charge, it's no more clear than looking at the starting 11 and bench from that game and looking at the starting 11 and bench that Liverpool are putting out these days. Klopp's first season in charge was a bit of an odd one, really, when you consider that we had the excitement and the real gut feeling that something big was going to happen at the club, but we didn't quite have the personnel to deliver upon that hope on a consistent and regular basis. What we got was snippets, little signs of what things were likely to come in the future, and the best and earliest one of those was Man City away at the Etihad. Roberto Firmino in the false nine, people moving, people working, people pressing. It was the first proper glimpse of what would become Klopp's template for how this football club would play. And as well, sparking a little bit more of the rivalry we'd sort of started under Brendan Rodgers with Manchester City. And whilst the consistent challenge on the league front never materialised, what we did get was two fairly bonkers cup runs. The League Cup final, which we ended up losing to Man City on penalties, fairly heartbreakingly.
I'm absolutely devastated at the minute. You know why it makes it so hard to take though is because after dragging ourselves back into the game, we scored a late goal through Phil Coutinho. After dragging our way through and after then fighting through extra time, I'm thinking, this is ours, we've got this on penalties. And it starts off that way, doesn't it? Chan hits a great penalty. Their fella, Fernando was it, hits the post, and then you're thinking, this is ours, we've just got to do this now. And then just a succession of crap penalties.
And although we equally went and lost the Europa League final, what we got along the way was more glimpses, more signs, and more moments to really hang your hat on, and none more obviously so than, yes, Manchester United. Liverpool have just knocked Manchester United out of the Europa League, a competition that they thought they were just going to cruise through because it's dead easy compared to the Champions League. And I'm buzzing because we progressed in the Europa League by 3-1. We snotted them tonight. But Dortmund at Anfield. Klopp up against his old team, you could see the love was still there, and you could see that there was clearly a point to prove from Thomas Tuchel's point of view. We come to Anfield and it just starts to go horrendously wrong. But what it all comes full circle to is Dejan Lovren, the man for the big occasion, banging it in and sending Anfield into absolute raptures.
Football Club, if there was any doubt in your mind that we are European royalty, look at that game tonight, the mighty Reds, 4-3 on the night, unbelievable, the greatest European night in here since Saint-Étienne. The Reds were magnificent to a man. What a day, what a night, what a team, what a manager. Divock Origi, incredible, absolutely amazing. We're going to the semi-finals of the Europa.
So yeah, we get to the Europa League, and the preamble, the day in Basel itself was absolutely incredible. It was the stuff that you hear about as a kid growing up. And what was best about it was just so many young Liverpool fans, people who just, but they were pulling the kids out of school over and gone, no, this is the kind of thing that we live for as Liverpudlians, is big European trips. And yeah, look, ultimately the party pre-game was the highlight of the event itself, apart from maybe Daniel Sturridge's goal. And we left Switzerland ultimately disappointed. But again, it felt like we'd reignited something. It felt like we'd dusted off this picture frame of instructions of how Liverpool behave in big European events. And we'd gone, oh yeah, I like the look of that. Let's try and do that again. And so we head into Klopp's first full season in charge. We bring in Sadio Mané, and people go, Sadio Mané from Southampton? What are you doing buying a guy from Southampton? LFC is simply dog shit. Mike Caslin, 34 mil! Overpaying again. Cracking transfer committee, this! Oh no, he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. And he opens his account in the best possible fashion with an absolute screamer against Arsenal.
Fucking hell. Signing of the season. What? So
basically just beating 3 vertebrae to a pulp. And finishes the season as basically every Liverpool fan's favourite player. And the most important thing that season was Liverpool getting a foot back at the top table. Yes, we didn't secure nailed-on Champions League football. It was only a qualification place, but we got through Middlesbrough last game of the season at Anfield to book it.
Let's go, Martin! Oh, let's go, Martin!
I think we deserve fourth. You know, there'll be Arsenal fans probably moaning and going, "Oh, did that pain gets given and stuff?" But I think we deserved it. I think we've been a better team than Arsenal this season. So I think it's great, and we just need to capitalise on it. So we need to win whoever comes here in the qualifier, hammer them, and we need to get the players in to make it count. Now, there's no more excuses for anyone. So FSG or the owners or anyone, there's no excuse not to go and buy big money because the money's there. Because we've just what say to a player, you haven't got Champions League, well, yet we have. So with Arsenal and Man Qualities will do. Better than what Arsenal have got. So
and unfortunately, it wasn't something we could properly celebrate either because with the qualifying round looming, we had the whole summer of, well, we're only 2 games away, but we're also only 2 games away from disaster and the Europa League again. So we live with this all summer long, and though things look positive, we head into the season nervy until we get to Hoffenheim, and then this young Scouse lad who'd had a little glimpse of right back at Old Trafford the season before, and he'd been okay. Hoffenheim, the Rhein-Neckar Arena, cometh the hour, cometh Trent Alexander-Arnold. absolute belter. And it's mad to think that only a couple of years earlier, we were looking at going, where are the local lads? Where are the local lads who represent us in this team? And then all of a sudden, you've got a young lad from Liverpool scoring free kicks in the European Cup at fullback. Sound. So we bring it to Anfield, and yes, the game isn't done, but we make it done in fairly short thrift with a fantastic performance and almost one of those mini great Anfield European nights.
14, I don't think so. We blew them away. It was the perfect synergy of crowd, tactics and players putting in a performance on the pitch. It was absolutely perfect. The guttural roars from the Kop. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about European nights at Anfield that are so magical, but if you could bottle it, I'd drink it every friggin' day.
For a game that some people might have denigrated, the way that Jurgen Klopp had that team set up, the way they approached the game, the real foundations have been put in place, and this was a new Liverpool. This was the first proper signs of a consistent Jurgen Klopp Liverpool. High energy, high tempo, scoring goals for fun, and Liverpool booked their place back at the top table of football in the European Cup.
We're a really good team. You know, no one's going to fancy. Was it pot 3? I mean, no one's going to want us. You know, these 1 or 2 are looking at Liverpool going, I'd rather not. Could you come here on a European night, mate, and we'll give anyone I don't care who it is. We've done it before, and we'll give anyone a paste. And I'd say that you can see the little tiny improvements that we need to make, and we'll be fine. But it's whether we've got a week to go, haven't we? And let's see if we can make them.
What's interesting is, around this time, we're starting to get an inkling that the lad that we signed from Roma, Mohamed Salah, he might actually be really good. He might be really, really good at football. We get into the Champions League, and although we'd had a bit of a sticky spell, drawing far too many matches, the sense was that we weren't far off clicking. We weren't far off being a really dangerous team. It's strange because go back and look at it now, and you look at that spell, and you see how people reacted online, in comments on social media.
Highs Harmony 27, we are worse than Everton. No, we are worse than Everton. Either way, it's wrong. We can't seem to create many chances to score goals at the moment. Lads look like they have no confidence and took a worldie to score.
And there's a real talk that we didn't have the right personnel, and Liverpool weren't at the level, and Liverpool were going to struggle in this campaign. And then we went to Maribor and scored 7 goals.
Give it to him. Come on, just finish it. Yes!
And really, although we then lost to Spurs in the following game, Liverpool never really looked back that season, and Klopp's Liverpool started to kick into overdrive. But just as things threatened to be absolutely magnificent, Virgil van Dijk signed for £75 million, and you're thinking, amazing, great, sorted the much vaunted final piece in the jigsaw. Now it's reported that the fee is £70 million, rising to 75, which is still a ludicrous amount of money when you think about it. But for me, a massive signal intent from Liverpool Football Club that they wanted their man, and they knew how much it was going to cost to make their man theirs.
Liverpool have just beaten Everton by, 2 goals to 1, I think. I can't remember who scored the winner. Who scored the winner there? Van Dijk! Just steps up right at the end with that big head. That Kop goes absolutely wild. Hey, ball!
Proper leader at the back, And then Felipe Coutinho decides, nah, I've had enough. Barcelona are basically singing my name from the rooftops. I want to go and join them. And he goes.
Immediate reaction, bad. Just really, really bad business from Liverpool. I mean, no, I tell a lie. Great business from Liverpool because you buy a guy for what, £8 million. You get some good years out of him, you get some good goals and assists and some great highlight reels, sell a load of shit, and then he's selling for £142 million is ridiculously good business. But from a football perspective and a football fan perspective, I expect absolute meltdown from Liverpool fans, and to be honest, rightly so as well.
And it really felt as though we'd had the wind kicked out of our sails. But again, what happens? Klopp takes the side away for a little warm weather break in January, sits them down and says, right lads, this is us. Don't worry about Coutinho, world-class player. He's walked that dog, he's chosen to do that. That's on him. What Liverpool do for the rest of the season, it's on us. It's on you. It's on you. It's on you. He points to the major team players in that dressing room and says, can you step up to cover for the absence of Phil Coutinho? You'll have to work harder, but if you work harder, you'll get a bigger slice of the rewards. And then what happens? We're in the knockout stages of the Champions League. We wipe the floor with Porto away from home. Well, the worst draw possible. The one team that you definitely didn't want in the quarter-finals of the Champions League. It's Man City. Not just because they're a quality side, but because robbed of a chance of a great European away. But anyway, they rock up to Anfield.
Seriously, I don't care what the view is like. I just want to make as much noise as possible when that bus gets in, because I've never been part of this before.
But you're thinking, is Oxford even really up to the level? He puts him in the team again. Can he do it again? Is he really good enough to put on this stage? Yeah. Yeah, he was. You're in a situation where the full-time whistle goes at Anfield and you very nearly knocked Man City out in one game of football. We would have to go to the Etihad, and it would be an horrendously nervy first half where it was more clenching than happiness.
Half-time. I can't see how I can physically last another 45 minutes of that. But if it's another 45 minutes like that, we'll be through. I just can't see right now how that could be. It's been horrendous. Horrible. Never a man short of words, but my God.
But the mighty Reds broke through. They smashed through Manchester City and they booked a place in the semi-finals against Roma. And so, Roma head to Anfield, and everyone tells us it's a defensive side. Italian teams know how to defend, can't be taken lightly. You've got to be careful. This is going to be a much sterner test. And Jurgen Klopp sets his team up exactly how he does, and we basically blitz Roma off the park.
Liverpool just beating Roma 5-2. That's better. That's better.
And we've left ourselves 90 minutes away from a European Cup final with 1 foot almost in Kyiv. And yeah, Rome, I mean, we went there amid a backdrop of fear of stabbings. The stabbings mercifully never happened. Liverpool didn't quite click. They got the goals they needed. The score ends up being closer than the actual overriding result was. But what a night. And the thing again that signifies what Jurgen Klopp had done to this point with Liverpool Football Club was the unity, and he was part of bringing not just the squad together, but the squad and the fans together. And some of that is just through sheer will of personality, some of that is through success on the pitch, and other things is instilling his personality in this squad, to not be fearful, to go out there and express your emotions, to soak up the enjoyment and the magic of footy. And when you see the likes of Woodburn and Trent Alexander-Arnold dancing in front of the Liverpool fans, and Sadio Mane bursting through the ranks and jumping up and down, and then even whipping out the banner for Sean Cox, you got a real sense, being in the stand, that what Jurgen had created here was a very different Liverpool. It wasn't a Liverpool that we'd seen for years. It wasn't a Liverpool that existed on a pedestal. It wasn't something that we looked up to. It was simply there to be looked at and polished periodically and just admired. No, it was something that we got involved with. We gave big bear hugs to, and we high-fived and we danced in the streets with this Liverpool. Liverpool, for the first time since 2005, were in a European Cup final. And so Kyiv, and this notion of Liverpool fans and the team and the manager and even the owners of the club actually existing in unity for the first time was never more prevalent than in Shevchenko Park in the lead up to the game.
La 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 la.
The Anfield Wrap, Boss Night, Jamie Webster, Redmen TV, on a stage with thousands of Liverpool fans singing songs, buzzing about the experience of being in a European Cup final. And that's one thing, and I had this with the Europa League final, and naysayers and doom merchants and people who don't like you or happiness will tell you that Liverpool lost that final. And you know what? They're absolutely right. You don't need to be a PhD in football to know that Liverpool did not win the European Cup against Real Madrid.
The squad's fallen short. No Oxlade-Chamberlain, no Salah. Yeah, I don't know. It's disappointing, it's devastating. I've had a great day. I've had a great season. It's been a massive roller coaster. I didn't expect this. We shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be here. This should have been a season where we just got out the groups and we talked about the ride and we got back into the top four and we got back into the Champions League for next season. It's no consolation.
it's zero consolation. I don't want consolation. I want a European Cup. I want a 6th European Cup. I want 6 stars. I want it all. I want my cake and I want to eat it as well. I want the best for this football club and it's so close.
I got to experience a European Cup final supporting my team. And for people who support Real Madrid and what have you, and you know, when you're there literally every year, maybe it takes a bit of shine off it. I don't know. I don't honestly think that it does. But I rewind the clock to 2015, and this is Brendan Rodgers' last season in charge. It was the 10-year anniversary of Istanbul. And I remember going to an event at the Liverpool Echo Arena to celebrate that anniversary.
Well, please put your hands together and get them on their feet as well for our Champions League winners. Sammy Hübner, Tamara Misa, Vladimir Smaita, Jimmy El-Sissay, Jimmy Traore.
I'm thinking, I don't feel like I'm ever going to see this again in my lifetime. And yes, of course, that was us lifting the trophy, but just the experience. I never got to go to Istanbul, but I got to reap all the happiness and the glory that it sowed. But as a football fan, my dream has always been to see Liverpool play in the European Cup final, and something that will never be able to be taken away from me. And my God, look, I can't even begin to fathom how unbelievably, outstandingly excellent it would have been had we gone that final step, that final hurdle, and lifted the trophy. But yeah, it's a memory that I'm going to live with forever, and it's thanks to the players that put out on the pitch, and it's thanks to the brand of football that Liverpool played on the way, and it's thanks to the players, and it's thanks to Jurgen Klopp. And so we head into the summer. Liverpool have got clear issues to address, and what do Liverpool do? What does the manager do? Yeah, he pretty much goes and addresses them.
Jurgen, it's a huge investment. What was it about Alisson that convinced you to go for him?
There was a world-class goalkeeper on the market, and the club gave us the opportunity to sign him. That's as simple as that.
JC Kuzo, I'd pay the bill myself if it means we have a goalkeeper with functioning hands. Aww. Boss, absolutely sound. I'm thrilled that we are making the kind of moves to not just improve the side, but make us elite. We break, at the time, the world record for a goalkeeper in Alisson, having already broken the record for a defender in January for Van Dijk. We bolster the midfield, which is something that very much needed doing. And over pre-season, we start to see another generation of young players being blooded in Curtis Jones and Rafa Camacho.
Must be buzzing with how it's going in pre-season so far.
Yeah, I couldn't be more happier. It's going as planned. I'm just trying to get on the score sheet, you know. I'm just going to try and be me as usual. I'm just going to try to go out there. I'm going to try and get a goal. I'm going to speak to a couple of lads, see if they can get me an assist.
And one vitally interesting thing that Klopp talks about in pre-season is this notion that Liverpool are just this attacking side because he's blithe and stupid and just loves attacking football, like he's some sort of attacking Labrador. He talks about the importance of defence, and he talks about the importance to winning titles of having a defence.
So it's not on the German side, it's saying, so offense wins your games, defense wins your championships. So that's how it is. So, and I was, as a starter, as an average striker, ended as an average defender, but my first aim for each team I managed was organization. Yeah. So it's never went there and said, come on, we don't care about that, look in that direction, there's the goal, there we go, never.
And where Liverpool stand right now, 3 years after the big German walked in the door, is that this football club is as strongly positioned as it has been, certainly in the Premier League era. And realistically, you probably have to go back to 1990, the last time Liverpool won a title, in terms of squad depth, organisation, harmony, and all-round quality from top to bottom of the football club. Are they there yet? Honestly, who knows? But does this feel like the best chance Liverpool have got of winning a league title? Yeah, but more importantly, in a wider sense, does it feel as though Liverpool belong at the top table of football? Does it feel as though Liverpool are back as a consistent force rather than one season, one-hit wonders, burning brightly but shortly like we've seen far too many times in the last 25 years? For me, it absolutely certainly does. So yeah, 3 years under Jurgen Klopp, 3 years of absolute madness.
It was James Bond. You've just had a chat with James Bond. I mean, as far as days go,
Very
a
good,
win
yeah.
for the Reds and a hug off James Bond.
Yeah, what can I say? Usually you're dead after a hug of James Bond, aren't you?
But throughout that madness has been the incredible rise of solidity, of harmony, of absolute concrete foundations that simply haven't existed as football club for far too long. Foundations that hopefully will leave Liverpool not just a challenging force in the short term, but with the ability to be a power in world football at the top table, back where we belong for the long term. And I don't know about you, but I'm incredibly excited to see what the next 3 years of Jurgen Klopp holds.
And you can imagine in the third year when we got then promoted with Mainz, I think if you bring up that game again, show it in the city, there will come again 100,000 people, watch it and have 3 days of party. So everybody knows it still. That was massive.
Wait till you see what the party will be like in Liverpool, mate.
I can imagine a little bit. Yeah.
Absolutely.